Hey guys, SoCal Val here. You are listening to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast.
All right.
Welcome, everybody, back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. This is another Ringside View episode. And as you can see, for this one, I'm joined by my illustrious co-host, Mr. Adam Cousins. Adam, how are you, brother?
I'm wet and in a bad way.
It is. It's not in a good way. It is pouring down with rain. You would not be surprised to hear in jolly old England, it's raining as always. But what an episode we have today. I've been on TikTok now, following some great accounts for wrestling, for WWE. Today we have one of the best TikTok accounts I think I follow. I'm looking at his collection right now. I'm already jealous. Every time I see this guy's collection, I get very envious. We've got Mike from Belts, Figures, and More. Mike, how are you, brother?
What's up, gentlemen? How are you?
Yeah,
it's great to be here, guys.
We are good, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Anyone that's listening to this in audio form for this episode, I suggest you jump on our YouTube at Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast, because Mike is going to hopefully show us some of his a great collection for some that we can see right there. Mike, on this kind of Ringside View, we love chatting to fans and wrestlers and managers and everyone just involved in wrestling. Mike, how did the love of, first of all, just wrestling, before we get into the great collection that's behind you, how do you fall in love with professional wrestling, Mike?
Well, I mean, it's probably started. I'm 39 years old now. I mean, I have an older brother, so he's 5 years older than me, and he was first not involved, but his interest in wrestling grabbed early. And then once I started growing up and started to enjoy the product a little more, I mean, I just caught on probably around WrestleMania. I remember WrestleMania 9 at Caesar's Palace.
Yeah, Hulk Hogan beat Yoko, didn't he, in the end for the title?
And then it's like, you know what? I caught on, and then WrestleMania 10, and then start watching the pay-per-views once in a while, and then Royal Rumbles. I mean, who doesn't love the Royal Rumble?
We do.
You know, we watched it all. Oh my God, that's the best one. And between doing that, watching that, having fun and game. Well, not fun and games when we were younger, because we couldn't do any of these fun drinking games, gambling games, anything when you're watching the Rumble now these days. But watching those growing up, that definitely got my love for wrestling. And then my very first wrestling event, I think, that I went to, other than the local Armory shows, my first big one was WrestleMania 15 in Philadelphia.
Wow.
Mine was 6 years later. Actually, it was SummerSlam 92, Andy, the ones that we went to. But my first
SummerSlam 92. I was 12 years old at Wembley Stadium.
I was a bit younger.
Oh, that is awesome.
And then WrestleMania 21 was my first WrestleMania, then 25, 26, 27, 28 consecutively.
Nice. I went to 15, 26, 28, 31, and 32. And then this year, right down the road, Philadelphia, I'll be there.
See, I'm trying to convince Adam to go to WrestleMania this year, Mike. He's having none of it. I'm still working on it.
Wait. This is more to do with health now.
Yeah, I'm just gonna forge a little doctor's note or something, so we can get him on a plane. But Mike, as we can see, everyone, like I say, go and check out the YouTube channel. Mike, we can see your array of wrestling belts there. I love following you on TikTok. You're a great follow. You're a great person just to interact with on social media, on TikTok. But how did the love of collecting start? I mean, I'm addicted to collecting the WWE Hasbro figures, the little tiny figures. It drives my wife mad. Every time the postman knocks on the door, she pretty much knows what's coming. My postman's just like,
something's coming. Yeah.
My postman's like, another figure for Andy. She's like, yeah, or the pop Funko Pops. I collect them as well. But for you, we can see your great collection of wrestling belts, WWE belts. How did that start? What first got you into that? Let's be honest, this is not a cheap hobby. Any collector out there will tell you that collecting anything is not a cheap hobby. But how did you first start thinking, do you know what? I'm going to collect wrestling belts?
Well, so once again, my brother and I, this is obviously gotten us much closer over the years. We've always been close, but the love of wrestling together has brought our collections, obviously, to what you see right now. But we collected Jack's, the wrestling figures, the bone crunching action figures. We had hundreds and hundreds of those. And then, when we grew up, we sold them, and then figured, okay, let's get out of this. We're getting out of collecting. And then the first belt we ever got was the WWF Winged Eagle belt. And it's over here. I don't know if you can see it over here. We'll do a pan in a little bit.
Yeah.
But that was our first one. And then I got world tag titles, the ones that Demolition held, the Legion of Doom, the Hart Foundation. And then we kind of just started, buying, obviously back in the day, they were a little cheaper than they are now.
Yeah.
But, we got a couple world titles. We got the Spinner. We got the Undisputed. But then once again, life came up and then we had to sell a couple. I wish we never did. I also wish we never sold the Jack's wrestling figures too, because the money out there today just to have these in your collection is absurd.
Mm-hmm.
But then over this past year, well, the pandemic came, we got back into figure collecting, out of belts. Figure collecting went wild, started getting that. Then we said, okay, one of our buddies, and also part of the Belts Figures More, his name is Gary. My brother's name is Jason. Our buddy is Gary. We have kind of like a 3-man team on this. He bought one. And then we said, you know what? Let's find another one. And then another one. And then 63 of them. And that's where we're at right now.
63. I mean, we'll have to, after this episode, Mike, we've got our own Hitting the Turnbuckle title that we have defended on shows. We have our own, myself and Adam and Ignite Wrestling ran a pay-per-view this past summer. We've got our Ignite, for Ignite, we've got the Hitting the Turnbuckle title. I will send you a picture after this and see what you
nice,
see what you think of our championship. So go on, Adam, mate.
I was going to say the only title that we've got two in this house. My son's got the Roman Blue Universal Championship, but the one that holds special place in my heart is my Rated R Spinner. And I noticed this on your TikTok page. And
yep, we got it over there. That's never leaving this collection.
Believe me, mine is never leaving. More so because I've managed to get it signed by the man himself finally.
I wish I was able to get that one signed. I have a couple behind the camera that are signed by Edge. And good story about Edge, short one.
Yeah.
If you ever meet a wrestler in person, Edge is the one to do it because he is so nice.
We met him, such a dude.
Super friendly. Like we got him at a book signing, 20 years ago. And then just so happened a month later, he was doing another signing and we went again. And it was cool that he remembered us from a month ago. He's like, hey, you guys are the ones with the Intercontinental belt that we got signed. He did a book signing. He talked to us for 10 minutes and a super down to earth guy. And when I was able to find the Rated R Spinner earlier this year, I couldn't pass it up. I had to get it.
Yeah, mine was the same thing. I bought it and then I was going to take it to WrestleMania, the one before he retired. I didn't. And then he retired and I'm thinking I'm never going to meet the guy again. So I'd met him previously. He'd done a house show in London, in Newcastle, where it was like DX versus Rated RKO. So he was with Lita at the time. And so I never thought I'd get a chance to meet him. And then he was doing London Comic Con with Rob Van Dam. And I was like, this is it. This is the time. I think you were there, Andy. We didn't even know.
I was there. No, didn't even know. Yeah, we're at the same
time. Nice.
They got it signed finally.
Yeah. Michael, as you see, growing up, and like even now, what is have you got a favorite wrestler that you looked up to? I mean, we had Max on the other day. We had Keith on. His was, a lot of people say the Hogans and the Warriors. It's very easy because we all kind of grew up in that same kind of era. But as we've been doing this, and we've been speaking to fans, I meet a lot of people that are like, oh, John Cena. Someone the other day was commenting on like Roman Reigns. It's different how you go through the different eras of wrestling to what you talk about. Me and Adam talk about the Attitude Era all the time because even though we were born in the 80s and we grew up with the Hogans, the Warriors, the Bossmans, the Jim Duggans, Legion of Doom, the main era that we remember watching because it was accessible more then was the Attitude Era. What was the era and wrestler that got it for you?
Probably, I mean, definitely the Attitude Era was awesome. I mean, going back to answer your question, who's my favorite? Definitely Edge. I mean, I watched him from day one when he was hanging out in the streets of New York City doing the promos. And then all of a sudden he showed up at SummerSlam and I watched his whole career in the WWE and knowing how nice of a guy he is and to meet him. I mean, it's one of those things like, you don't want to meet the person on TV because you never know what kind of guy they're going to be or girl, but meeting him, it was pretty awesome. But I mean, you got Edge, I mean, Cena, obviously, man, I mean, currently, I mean, Cody Rhodes is, you know, obviously the top of his game and one of the best and one of the great fan favorites. And what you see what he does outside of wrestling is just awesome. You know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's not anybody I dislike. I mean, but there's a couple that are on my top of my list that are my favorites.
Yeah.
But
how do you think Edge will do in AEW now? Obviously, it's the first time he's ever not been at WWE. How do you think he'll transcend to AEW?
It's weird. It's weird seeing him on a different channel. I mean, it's cool that he got to keep the music, which is awesome. Because it'd be weird seeing Edge come out without that music.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a plus. I mean, you know, you read everything online, you know, between, you know, the crowds and the ratings or whatever, but he's doing it for himself. He wants to go over there. Hopefully Edge and Christian come back, you know, maybe a Hall of Fame induction together. But, you know, like you said, he wants to go over there and be with Uncle Jay, as his kids say. You know, I mean, that's a cool way to, you know, be with your friends and then, you know, be with people that he's never wrestled before. I mean, I think there's going to be some unbelievable matches over there. Him and Kenny Omega and Samoa Joe, like you said. I mean, there's guys on there that he's never touched before, and they could make some good wrestling over there.
Yeah. Do you think, Mike, that over the next coming years now we're going to see a lot of these switches between WWE and AEW?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, obviously Cody was the first giant one, you know, and then Daniel Bryan going over Adam Cole, but then Jade Cargill coming over the other, you know, a couple weeks ago. I mean, it's only a matter of time. I mean, the competition is great. You don't want to see anybody fail because at the end of the day, every wrestling fan, it's great for wrestling. You know, I talk to Max all the time. He said, who wins? Wrestling fans win. I mean, who cares what the ratings are? It's 1 million, if it's 100,000, whatever. You watch what you like. If you don't like it, change the channel, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's why it's a little
surprise.
It's a little worrying to me, like, especially last week when Tony Khan was on Twitter all the time and constantly talking about WWE. It's like, that's kind of like was the downfall of WCW. They were so worried about what WWE were doing. They kind of took their eye off the ball, and then the TV networks and Ted Turner pulled the money and etc. They got taken over by AOL, and they didn't, you know, because of they were so obsessed with each other. And in the end, we all know what happened. But I just hope AEW don't go down that route of just being obsessed with what's going on the other channel. You put a great product on last Tuesday when they went head to head with NXT.
Right, exactly.
Just keep doing that and don't worry about your product. Eventually will speak for itself. As long as you put good stuff on TV, good matches, good storylines, don't worry what WWE are doing. WWE shouldn't worry about what AEW doing. And then everyone wins, right?
Everybody wins at the end. You know, you have great matches on Monday, you have great matches on Tuesday, you have great matches Wednesday. I mean, there's wrestling every day of the week if you want it. If you filter in, you know, Ring of Honor whenever they're on, you know, Impact. I mean, you got a pay-per-view on NXT. Like, you got wrestling almost 7 days a week. Just enjoy it. You know, that's what we are. We're adults now. We love the product. It's a male soap opera. That's what I always tell people. Oh, you still watch wrestling? Well, you watch movies, don't you? You watch TV
that
shows,
is exactly my answer to people. I say, do you go to the cinema to watch movies?
Right?
Yeah, movies are scripted. Soap operas are scripted. You know what I mean?
Everything.
Everything in life, pretty much, from the entertainment industry. Even this, you had this stupid KSI versus Tommy Fury. Like, I'm telling you now, that kind of thing is all set up. All these YouTubers doing things, they're all scripted.
Yeah.
They're all set up. You know, we just get to suspend reality for 3 hours on a Monday night or on a Friday night.
Enjoy it. You know, take it in. You know, if you want to, you know, stay off social media, you want to be surprised, you could do it. You don't have to go on social media on a Sunday. Well, now a Saturday for the premium live events. Like, just stay off the internet. You'll be pleasantly surprised what you see.
Yeah, exactly. Mike, is it all right if we have a little look around at the collection, just to show the YouTube listeners
absolutely.
Just show us some of your favorite belts and some of the things you got. I know for those of you that need to go and check it, you need to go and make sure you follow Mike on TikTok.
Take this off here without let's put this camera here somehow.
So for everyone on Twitter, just where Mike's on TikTok at Belts, Figures and More. Make sure you go and check it out. But anyone watching on YouTube now, you're about to get a treat.
So this was our first wall when we redid the room down here. I mean, there was, 20 belts here. This is our first wall. We reorganized. We move them around nonstop. Then we got this. We got our spinners over here, rated R. And then we got a nice little winged eagle wall here. And this is one of the nice ones, nice rare one here, because we got this one from Raw 30 in Philadelphia.
Wow.
There's only 30 of those made. So it was like it was spur of the moment. I saw the sale go up online, and it said pick up at the arena. And I'm debating. We were driving. I said, I got to do it. And I pulled the trigger, and before you know it, they were sold out. So I was thankfully, I mean, now looking back, I wish I bought all three. They had this one, they had the spinner, and they had the big eagle like that. But I'm like, I can't spend $2,200 on belts in an afternoon.
Dave, good.
Yeah, Dave, our co-host, good.
Yeah, I mean,
see, NFL... Mike, this is the one I give him most stick for, Adam, the New York Giants one. We're playing them this weekend.
Yeah, I know, but he's got a good team. No,
we're playing the Giants. We're playing the Giants this weekend.
I'm a diehard Giants fan, but this belt might turn into the hardcore title if they keep making me mad.
What's the one above it, Mike? What's that blue one above it?
That is the Edge Signature Series belt.
What?
They just released this one. I mean, probably a couple months ago when
it's on Euroshop.
Yeah, it's all over.
It's
right when he had his last match with Sheamus, they released,
a bunch of 25 years. The promo. Yeah.
25-year merchandise with him, and I mean, like I said, Edge is my favorite, so I'm like, I had to get it. I like to tell people on my lives and everything, like, oh, that's ugly.
It's not.
You don't realize how good they are until you get them in person.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, same thing with the new world titles. Like, oh man, they're stupid. You see them on TV, but you get them in person, they are incredible. You know, then we got the Fiend.
Yeah.
Wow, that is a cool belt.
You know, we got, I mean, the Shawn Michaels Legacy, the European Brothers of Destruction that went signed by Kane. You know, the big gold, the new big gold. You know, a couple of plaques.
$1 million one.
A bunch of our ringside chairs that we went to.
Oh, the white IC title, that's my favorite.
We were talking about that the other day, Andy. The white one.
Yeah, that's the belt I want to get. I absolutely love that title.
Yes, that's a great one. I mean, then we have some WWF ones still, WWF IC. So this one, that one, and the Winged Eagle, our first one, they're probably 23 years old right now.
Wow, I always think of like Bret Hart and Mr. Perfect when I see them having some great matches for that title.
Got the big golds. This is a Green Bay Packers customized Fandu big gold. My nephew's a big Green Bay Packers fan, so my brother got it for him for his birthday one year. So that's kind of cool. We got our NXT corner over here. We need the first NXT title. We're on the search and the hunt. Can't find it yet, but we got to get a good one.
Oh, it'll pop up on eBay somewhere.
Yeah, that's the only AEW one we have. We have the TNT title. We got the US. We got the IC. The Ric Flair signature or legacy series, and then we got the robe with it, which is it's incredible. We got the old IC back here.
Cody Rhodes,
the belt. That's the old IC. There you go, signed by Edge.
Hey,
wow.
And then down here we got the Ruthless Aggression Raw tag, signed by Jeff Hardy and Edge, and then little
Macho King
wrestling buddy. We've had that's been in the box for 30 years.
Wow.
I don't know why we ever kept it in there, but we did.
Yeah. Make sure you keep it in there. Yeah. I've got some of the Hasbros I've got there. They're never coming out of the box.
Yeah. You know, then we got a couple. This is like our tag team corner here, and the Macho Man Legacy. That's a cool one. A lot of these legacy ones are cool because they come in these like deluxe and crazy cases. Like this is you can see it's like a sunglass case.
Yeah.
And the same one with Ric Flair. Ric Flair comes in like a diamond shaped.
Amazing.
You know.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. I mean, once again, like I tell people when we buy stuff, like, oh, how can here's the new Brock Lesnar belt. This is our most recent one. And then once again, everybody watching, we're giving away a NXT tag title.
I'm entering that competition.
How'd they go about entering that, Mike, out of interest?
What's that?
How'd they go about entering that for the NXT? Is it closed?
No, I was going to close it tonight. There's a pinned video on our main page. And all you got to do is you literally just answer an opinion question. Who was your favorite NXT tag champ? And then I'll put them in a randomizer, or I think I actually might write out the names and do it live, try to do it live. So some people see me actually pick the name out of a box or a hat or something.
Good thinking.
Mike, you never know what people think. Like, oh, it's Rick, fix. No, like if I do it right here in front of you, like do a video, that's how it is.
Yeah, wow. Mike, just finishing up really quickly. It's been great to see your collection. What is the future? We've asked a few guests this. What does the future for professional wrestling look like to you?
Oh, I think only going up. I mean, between, the sale, everything. I mean, you see the WWE crowds just between tickets and attendance and ratings. I mean, it's like back in the day where everything was just skyrocketing. I mean, it's unbelievable. They're selling out shows before there's a match announced. I mean, I just saw Survivor Series, and the night before, they're both sold out. There's nothing announced. It's in Chicago. I mean, obviously, you never know what might happen. You never know who might show up, but you never know. I mean, it's just, I think the wrestling business is going back up compared to, we have Rocky Roads years ago, and you don't know, who's writing what, who's creative here, who's creative there, but I think they're in the right direction. Both companies, they're both in the right direction.
Yeah, no, most definitely. Adds anything before we get out of here, bro?
No, I've just entered the competition, so
Mike, the postage to the UK might be a bit expensive, but Mike, just tell all our listeners where they can find you, what your socials are, brother. It's been really great just to get a little insight into what you do and how you collect and stuff. I love following you on TikTok. It's like really, I think every live I see, I'm like, I just need to look at these belts again. I'm just jumping in. But, Mike, just tell our listeners how to find you, bro.
Well, first off, I appreciate you guys bringing me on today. This was awesome. I love doing this kind of stuff. And I mean, I want to thank Max. He's the one that referred.
Yeah, he's a good dude, Max, man. He's a good dude.
Max and I, we do videos together, what do you have, what I don't have. So we kind of like bounce back and forth, and we talk, like we're next door to each other, even though we're miles and miles and miles away. But TikTok, Belts, Figures, and More. Everything is Belts, Figures, and More. TikTok, Instagram, X is Belts, Figure, and More, just MRE at the end. But everything is on my Linktree account. I have my email there. Everything is there. So anybody wants to follow, like, comment, we appreciate everything. I never thought a silly video in March that has garnered over 1 million views now would get us to this point. 26-second video. I said, let's just throw it up there, see what happens. And before you know it, I had 300,000 views in a day. I said, this could be going somewhere. And then I said, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And
here we are.
Bang.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Max, thanks so much for jumping on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. We really appreciate it. Keep up all the great work. It's, like I say, I pretty much jump on nearly every live you do, even if I'm on there for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I just want to look at these belts again, really, and just hear what Max is saying. It's good. I know, and Mike's saying, sorry, I see like you answer questions and stuff like that. You never get bored of answering the same question. So keep doing what you're doing, brother, man. It's doing tremendous stuff what you're doing over there.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you guys very much. I hope you guys have a great day.
No worries. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Make sure you check us out on Twitter at HTTBuckle. Also find us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Threads. We're doing Threads right now, Ed?
Yeah, we're doing
Threads. Wherever you can, you just type in Hitting the Turnbuckle, YouTube, you'll find us. But till next time, everybody, I've been your host, Adam. I've been your host, Andy Burrows. That's been Adam Cousins. Till next time, everybody, buckle down. Stay safe.